Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. And Scotty, you can come every Friday because this is one of the nicest crowds we've had recently, okay? But I'm so glad you're here. After today, we're going to break for the summer and we will see you again in September. So I don't think this person needs an introduction, but he may. So please meet Scotty Barton. He is a pharmacist and owner of Riverside Pharmacy, and he furnishes the gift nook here that I know many of you take advantage of, but they offer so many services. It's always good if you've heard before to refresh your memory, and if you are new, you may be shocked at what all they can do for you. So Scotty, please.
Thank you. Y'all are too kind. Thank y'all so much. Oh, I've got Annette with me. I think everybody here probably knows Annette. Yep, big round for applause. Annette runs the gift shop for us. She's been here for, 6 years. So anytime you walk into the gift shop, you'll either see her or Rhonda. They do a great job. Any questions that y'all have got concerning Riverside, of course, they're in constant contact with us. They call us throughout the day. Anything that might arise, they can get a hold of us. We take care of it. We get it up here. So Annette is great. I see several faces out there that I already know. Hope to get to know a lot more of y'all. But as she introduced me, I am Scotty from Riverside Pharmacy. I've owned the store since 2010. We have been a blessed pharmacy since 1954. That's when Riverside was established by Charlie Johnson and Joanne Adams. They were two people from Gainesville that opened the store back then. They took a chance, as they were told at that time. They went off what was known as the square of downtown Gainesville and established a store on Riverside Drive at the time. So by them taking the chance, it gave us the possibility to, of course, keep going and provide pharmacy services and other services to the community. We have been beyond blessed by the Gainesville community with what y'all have done for us through the years. We've got a little video that we've got on the slide presentation, and I'll let it play. And I don't think it's forwarding. I need to do something different. The man that knows how to work it right here. It was lighting up there. Okay, while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit. What was that? This video's got Benny in it. Sit down.
You went for it.
Here we go.
Riverside Pharmacy and the Gift Nook have been serving the Gainesville and North Hall areas for many years. Our pharmacy and original Gift Nook are located on Greet Street, and our second Gift Nook location is in the Lanier Village, allowing us to provide the local population with a variety of services. Services provided by Riverside Pharmacy and the Gift Nook at Lanier Village include prescription delivery services, delivery to Lanier Village twice a day, once at 11 a.m. and once at 5 p.m., a pharmacy drive-through at our Green Street location.
Hey, Mr. Benny, how are you? I'm good. There's your melatonin. All right, you have a good day. Thank you.
The Riverside Pack, a prepackaged box of your medications broken down by daily dosage. over-the-counter medication and supplements. A gift shop. Monogramming. Balloons. Gift wrapping. Greeting cards. Gift cards. Drinks and candy, and a whole lot more. Come by and see us today at our Green Street location or at the Gift Nook in Lanier Village. Give us a call at 770-532-6253 with any questions. Our hours of operation are 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Thank y'all. All right, so as the video said, we offer a lot of stuff at Riverside. We're more than just a pharmacy. It's kind of become our motto the last couple of years, is that we offer more than just prescription drugs. But we do the free delivery service, so anything that we bring up to y'all is absolutely free. There's no charge to that whatsoever. It comes straight to Annette or Rhonda at the gift shop. I'm gonna get back here where I'll stand beside her because I don't like having her behind me. But it'll come to them. There are occasions when they may be closed or something's come up where we'll just bring it straight to the room. We do that, so that's not just isolated to y'all having to come down to the gift shop. We can bring it straight to your door, that type thing. I think Annette sometimes even carries it after she closes. Down, or she'll take a few minutes out of her hours there and go down and see somebody. We do that. So, you know, it's not just, I don't want you to think that it's just go to the gift shop and pick it up there. We do more than that. We can bring it to your door if you want it that way. So, vaccines. A lot of y'all travel. I know Strother's going on a 2-week excursion here coming up. A lot of people need vaccines. We offer a full line of vaccines that we can give to you. Tdap or the tetanus shot, the flu vaccines, RSV, shingles, that type thing. We really got away from COVID vaccines, and that was just strictly looking at it from a sense of over the past few years, the COVID vaccine hadn't been as big as it initially was. So the wholesalers put a limit on what you can buy when you buy that vaccine. So from our demand that we've seen over the last couple of years, it's not feasible for us to do that right now. But if that increased, we would gladly do that for you. You know, we have a minimum of 30 injections that we have to buy in order to get the COVID vaccines. So, and they like those vaccines. You know, a lot, they cost a lot of money, but most of your insurance plans, Medicare, they cover those. So most of the vaccines through us are at zero charge. Everything that I say, I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth because the insurance world is a little different because some plans will mandate that some injections are done at the physician's office. They don't want it done at a pharmacy. So if that is the case, we would tell you before we gave you the injection and let you go to your physician to get that. But I would say 95% of those vaccines are covered under your plan, and we can do them there at the store. Just stop by. You know, it only takes, we have to get you to fill out a sheet. We've already got your medications, that type of thing. It's a real simple sheet that you just fill out. We'll get the vaccine ready, give it to you, you wait 15 minutes, you're out the door. Any kind of questions on vaccines through Riverside? So if you get one given to you and you have no location that you go to get your vaccines, we'll be glad to do it for you. We have 3 pharmacists. We're all certified to give vaccines. Now, I will say that about us. Now the state, or since COVID, the state has allowed some techs to give vaccines. We're still only allowing pharmacists to do that, so your vaccine will be given by a pharmacist. I'm not saying that the techs are not qualified, but I know some people are skeptical of letting a tech do that type of thing. So there at the store, all we do is strictly pharmacists give vaccines. So that's just a little bit to let you know about that. Packaging medications. We do a variety of packaging. We've got several different bubble cards. We have what we call the pill pack, and I brought that with me. This is actually Donald Duck's. He's got a lot of Skittles in here. So a few of y'all use this. This is no charge to y'all if y'all get your medications from us. We pack this on either a 2-week or a month, and it depends on your preference. A lot of people, maybe the medication's changing a lot. They want to do it on a 2-week cycle, we can do that. But most of the time we do a 30-day. And these come pre-packed. They're just in a box. This is a big roll. But like one pack would be your morning dose, the next one would be your noon dose, and the one after that would be your nighttime dose. And these are pretty convenient. Say if you were going to go out for the day and you wanted to carry your noontime dose, you just tear this off, stick it in your pocket, and you got your medication with you, or your purse. You know, and the other thing that this takes away too is a lot of people will struggle with doing 7-day pill reminders, where you have to put them in these little boxes and you do a full week, and you know, after that week you got to do it again, that type of thing. We take all that hassle out of it for you. We do it ourselves. We've got 2 pharmacists in the back with technicians. This is done with a robot, so everything that we key in goes into the robot. It packs the medication, and then of course the pharmacist will have to verify that everything that's in these packs is what it said, you know, that it is. So putting Strother on the spot, but Strother uses this here. Strother, do you like the packaging? Do you think it adds?
That it gives the day that you're supposed to take it, so you know what day it is, and it tells you what time. Mine's like 8 o'clock and 5. Mine are 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock, so there's no way for me not to know that. Plus, each little packet has what pills are inside it. So if your doctor during the month has changed your prescription and said, quit taking these pills, you can find which pill that is and not take it. It's very handy, and I don't have to use those little weekly things anymore. I'm not on your payroll, but I would.
You should be.
I would say that Scotty is the most professional pharmacist I know. If he can't do it, don't try to talk him into it. And if he can do it, he will. Also, if you have to drive even across the street to get your meds, what's better than having them delivered right here for you? Twice a day.
Thank you, Strother. Thank you. The Parada packaging, that's the one that I just talked about. That's the one that Strother does. You know, to me, this is the simplest and the easiest, because like I said, if you were going out of town for a week, tear that off for 7 days. You've got it there. They're small, they're convenient, they're labeled. It keeps you from having to carry, you know, your bottles, your planters, that type of thing. We do another packaging that we've done for a really long time. This one is called Medicine on Time. It's set up a little different. It's set up on a card system. The yellow being the morning, the white being the noon, the orange being like the 5, 6 o'clock, and the blue being the bedtime or nighttime meds. But we just kind of put that on there to show that we offer more than just this type of packaging. We do a variety of packaging, and we just let it be based on your preference, what's easy for you, what you like, that type of thing. Like Strother mentioned, his is set up on a 9 and 5 schedule. We can set these up at whatever time you take your medication. So if you're a late riser, you get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, we can set it at 10, 2, and 10. You tell us what time you want your medication to be given, and that's when it'll be scheduled at. Typically, we ask, like with Strother, sometimes some of his stuff will change. He'll come by the store, or he'll call and say, hey, I don't need this in the pack. He'll talk with Jordan or Pana, one of them in the back, say, take this out, the doctor's decreased this dose, or you change this. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna catch the changes on that, but it would help just as a refresher to say, hey, this is what we're doing this month, or he wants me off my Eliquis for, 2 weeks. So we'll take that out for 2 weeks, and you get it packed for the other 2 weeks. That type thing. So it can be set up to be as specialized as you need it. And like I said, there's no charge to any of that packaging for y'all as long as you get your prescriptions from us. Any questions on any of the packaging? Yes, sir.
Can you not sure this is going to be worth this. Can you package I take a multivitamin every day or some other things. Can that be included in the packaging or not?
Absolutely it can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You let us know what you're taking as supplements. Yeah. If you buy those, from outside source, if it's something that's unique that you buy off of the internet or directly from the place, bring it in, we'll package that for you, that type thing. With y'all, all we have to do is figure out what time you're taking that. We set it up on the time it's put in with your routine meds. So no problem with that. All right. We just talked about all this, so these slides that I'm going by is exactly what we've just talked about, the supplements. If you wanted those added to your packs, you just let us know. We'll add those, no problem. This is a new thing that we started probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Durable medical equipment. I think the last time I was up here, we were in the process of getting that put into the store. If you've been in the gift shop lately over the past 3 months, 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
A lot of things have changed in there and we're doing that to kind of give y'all examples of what we have at the pharmacy or what we can supply for y'all. We've brought in most any kind of equipment that you want. If we don't have it there at the store, we ordered it, it'll be in the next day and it'll be sent here the next day. So there's about a 1 day delay in that, but typically it's a day turnaround. We're offering not only rollators, electric scooters. We can get a variety of scooters, lightweight, whatever you're looking for, we can get those. And we are set up now to bill out to your Medicare for some of these things. I'm not the guy to talk to about what they pay and what they don't. That gets kind of into, your doctor's got to write a prescription, they've got to have soap notes and all this. So that process is a little bit different, but we've got people there inside the store that knows all the ins and out of that, so they can take care of those questions for you. That would be either Jordan or Christy. You can let Adette know and they can place a phone call to you and talk to you about it if that's something you're interested in. But we can do, anything that's needed at the time. We got bedside toilets, Inside the gift shop now, we've brought in some rollators, some walkers, canes,
Lift chair.
lift chairs. Lift chairs are huge. We carry a line called Golden, and I think a few of y'all have some of the lift chairs that we brought in for you. Golden is a very good company to work with. The rep that we have with Golden has even came up here, I think, some instances where there's been some issues with the chairs, that type of thing. They'll come out and, help you get that fixed. There's a very good warranty on these chairs. These chairs can start out at a price range from $800 up to $3,000 is some of them that I've seen. But it all goes into what you're looking for. It can be a cloth chair, a leather chair, heat, massage. It'll lift you up. It'll recline you back to watch TV.
Charge your cell phone.
It'll charge your cell phone. It's got cup holders. It's got warm plates.
A lamp.
Fans. It's got a little fan you put in there. So there's a number of things that these chairs, options that come with these chairs. Typically on a chair, what we do is when you place that order, we've got books inside the gift shop. We got books at the store. It's about a 4-day turnaround. So if I was to order a chair for you today, more than likely you would have it in your apartment by next Thursday probably. So what we do is the day they're dropped off at the store, we load them up and we deliver them. We get them out to you. So if you're interested in a chair, we can help you with whatever you want on those chairs. I think we may have a question over there. We have a question?
Oh, I just want to make a comment. I have very recently changed my prescriptions from another place to here, and I'm so impressed. Number one, I can talk to the pharmacist with just a phone call, and I don't have to wait. I can get within the same day or the next day that I order prescriptions, have them delivered here. And this, of course, means they had them in stock. But the immediacy of delivery and conversation and clarification is just really so rewarding. So I do thank you for that, and I recommend you for that.
We appreciate you. We do. All right. So, another question?
Do you know of someone who services electric scooters?
Do we know somebody that can service them? Yes, the company the Golden that I'm talking about with the lift chairs, they actually do the scooters, the electric scooters, that type of thing. So yes, we can service those for you also.
Do they do pickup?
I will check on that, and I will let Annette know on that, but you got one that's down?
No, one we bought used.
Okay. I'll check on that and I'll let you know. I'll get you that answer. I think I may be dead again. I think our clicker stopped again. Miss Nancy, she's got a question.
Scotty, I have known you, I guess, close to 40 years.
Yep.
I'd just like for you to tell your story about how you got started with Riverside. I think that would be of interest to everyone. It is to me.
All right, I will do that. Miss Nancy, I've been knowing Miss Nancy now I've been at Riverside for, if I make it to November, I'll be there 34 years. I'm 50 years old. I started working at Riverside when I was probably right at 16 and a half years old. The gentleman that owned the store at the time was Wayne G. And Wayne is still with us, still comes in the store. Not as much as he used to, but occasionally you'll catch him sitting in the office, that type of thing. Wayne's 87, so he's slowed down a good bit now. But still in the store occasionally. He hired me, brought me in. I was a delivery guy. So I started out doing what you see most of our older gentlemen now that deliver here. That was my job. I would deliver all over Hall County for Riverside Pharmacy. And as time went on, they brought me in and started letting me count some pills where they could do other things. And as time goes on, they taught me into going to pharmacy school. And you've got one of my chemistry teachers sitting back there that's known me for a really long time. He watched me go through the process. When I went to school, I went back a little bit later in life. I was probably 24, 25 years old before I ever decided to go back, because they had talked to me so much about going to pharmacy school. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'll never pass. I'll never make it through. Had a very low self-esteem. So they finally kept on with good people, like Mr. Gary back there, got me through the chemistries, the calculus, the whole 9 yards. So got into pharmacy school. The rest is kind of history. I graduated from pharmacy school in 2006 with a doctorate in pharmacy. That man back there was very instrumental in getting me into pharmacy school. So a lot of gratitude is there, because at the time that I went, I had one child who is 25 years old now, and my second child came along my second year of pharmacy school, Luke, and now he's at the University of Georgia, planning on being an orthopedic surgeon. So I've got 5 children. So I've done things a little bit backwards. So after I graduated in 2006, of course, Wayne was looking to retire at the time. And he had to make a decision on either, selling to a chain pharmacy and closing it down, or giving a guy like me a chance to try to do something with it. And so I purchased the store back in 2010. So I've been blessed for 15 years to be the owner of the store. I've done a lot to try to keep the store up and going, because in today's market, pharmacy, as everything else, is a very, very tough field to be in. The insurance world controls a lot of what we do. They set the co-pays. So I had a phone call yesterday that, I think the co-pays was us for like $3 and Publix was $0. I wish mine was $0. I have advocated through as far out as I can reach. So if any of y'all, this is a plug for myself, if anybody knows President Trump and can get me into the White House, let me know. Would love to go to the White House and talk to them and tell them what we could do to make our health care better. Went down to the state back last year, back in March. I testified before a committee on some of the unfair practices that go on with the insurance plans that tried to shut small businesses like me down. So when I tell y'all that y'all are a true blessing to me, y'all truly are, because y'all are a big part of Riverside and y'all keep us up and going. And we can never say thank you enough for that. But as you know, all y'all get the phone calls, all y'all get the stuff in the mail, all y'all get everything coming from you, from your insurance company, say, hey, go here, you can get it cheaper. And that's probably true to a certain extent, but those guys are the ones that's setting the pricing. So if your copay happens to be $3 with me, or $5 or $10, your insurance company set that price. I have no control over that. If I was to say I'll give it to you at $0, like Publix or Kroger or Walmart, whoever, then I'm in violation and they can take my right to process those claims from me. So, yes.
Is Riverside a preferred pharmacy for any of the Part D plans?
Not for any of the Part D. And that's why I am fighting. Would love to get to the White House, because I think at this point that's the only way we're going to get real change in this. I have fought at the state level, trying to get it to where, they can exclude us from being on those networks. Money-wise, you're probably looking at dollars compared to what they would like to tell you, huge money. They do those tactics to get y'all to switch to them. And once you get switched over to them, they can charge you whatever copay they want to charge you at that time, which could be 10 to 20% higher than what it would be with us to start with. And I'll give you my story, and I know time, but my wife's a school teacher. So she's got the state plan. And one of the reasons I went down to the state capitol was I ran prescriptions for her under our state plan. All right, they're telling her that she needs to go to Walgreens or CVS to get a better deal. So I ran 3 prescriptions under her name, under our plan at Riverside. They totaled up to be right at, I think it was $31 copay for all 3 of them. I backed those out. I transferred those to Walgreens on a nota. I had my daughter go pick those prescriptions up. It cost me $150 to pick those up. $50 copays. And this is what they're doing. They're telling them, and that's what I testified before the committee down in Atlanta. You're telling these people that they're going to get a better deal, that type thing, if they go to these big box stores. I said, take my wife now. She's a single mom. She's a school teacher. She's not making a lot of money. For what they go through, it's not a lot of money. Any of y'all are teachers, y'all know that what I'm saying is true. So you took basically $120 out of her pocket by sending her to Walgreens. But you're telling them that they're going to get a better price there. That should be illegal. If your insurance really cared anything about you, the only way that we're going to get this thing on a level playing field and keep guys like me up and going is a universal copay, is where you can go to any pharmacy and get it for the same price, and a universal reimbursement for those pharmacies, because the games that they play is they might reimburse me 10 cents, but they're giving Walgreens $60. And all this has been proven. All this is coming out now, and all this is, for the longest time, we couldn't say anything about copays. We couldn't tell you anything about your copay, or you could buy this product cheaper without using your insurance and all. We fought that. We got the right to where we can talk about this now. So this has been one of my big things the whole time, and Annette will tell you, I'll talk about it all day long because it eats me alive, because it's unfair practices that's forcing guys like me out of business, because they can tell their lies, they can send out the propaganda, and I can't do anything on that level to compete with that. But I will tell you the truth. I will tell you if it's going to be cheaper. I will tell you that, if I can sell it to you cheaper without your insurance, I will sell it to you without insurance. And I do that all the time. Sometimes I don't catch it because I don't physically fill every prescription in the store. But if you come to me and talk to me and say, hey, this copay was a little high, I'll look at it and I'll see what's going on, and if it's cheaper cash, we'll do cash on it. And that's something I don't think any of the big box is going to do. Just like with Kelly's prescriptions, the $50 copay for each one of them, that was ridiculous. We're talking about drugs that cost pennies, but yet Walgreens was getting a much higher reimbursement plus a much higher copay than us. So that's something that we continue to fight. This fight has really gained some speed over the last couple of years. And I think if we can get into the White House and tell our side of the story of what's really happening, it's going to benefit all of us. Because, I've always said if I could give it to you at the same price, Publix, CVS, and I think Struthers and a number of you that have been with me for so long, they're going to tell you that I'm going to kill them on service, because I'm going to do everything I can to take care of y'all, to make sure that y'all have what you need. I don't care if it means coming up here 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I've done that before. Somebody will call. After I close the store up, I'll come up and I'll run the deliveries. You know, that's what we do. That's who we are. But back to the slide, the gift shop. We have a gift shop right here on the grounds at Lanier Village, and we thank y'all so much for that. We do balloons, gift cards, greeting cards. Most of our cards, I think the cards have gone up a little bit. I think they're what, $1.50 now instead of $1.
I think ours are $2.
$2?
Yeah.
Check with Katie on that, but
Okay.
still, they went up a little, but
I know from $1 to $1.50.
yeah, everything is different now, but still we've tried to keep the cost as low as we can without, you know, gouging anybody. I think, you know, I have walked into Kroger and other places and bought cards, and it'll cost me, you know, $6-7. So we're trying to keep those costs down to where all that is. And that was pretty much my slides. And I got off on a tangent about insurance. I apologize for that. That's just one of my, it's been a thing that I've taken over the last couple of years that I think we could do a lot of good if we could get in the right place on that. And I will be honest with y'all that that is truly what's going on. That's what's driving drug costs, that type thing. Miss Mary had asked me about the tariffs and what that's going to do to the drug companies or to the drug prices. Prices will go up. We don't know how much. Some of the things that I've read through the wholesalers is there's going to be a 125% tariff on drugs, because as you know, at this present time, I would say probably 80 to 85% of our drugs come from overseas now, which is a scary thought. You know, and we've talked a lot about this. You know, there's going to be a lot of commodities that, of course, is going to be made somewhere else because that's what they specialize in, and that's great. But as a pharmacist, I think that our drug supply should be in the United States. You know this, most research and development happens right here in the United States. We ship these drugs out, or people are buying them at a cheaper price in other countries for what is made here that we send out. You know, one of the drugs that most of y'all are probably familiar with is Eliquis. Eliquis is $600 a pop, any way you look at it. No matter where you go, wherever you get the price, the cash price on Eliquis is $600. That's extremely high, and that drug is not going to be available as generic. I think it's coming out in 28, which is still a few years off. That's substantial because now most doctors go away from Coumadin, which was cheap, but then you got the blood test that you have to do to make sure that your levels are within normal range. Eliquis, Xarelto, those guys came along and took all that away, where you don't have to worry about the testing so much. And of course, the price is set high. So if we can do something to drive those prices down, that's what we want, and that's what we, you know, are trying to figure out at this present time is what are other people paying for Eliquis and Xarelto? How bad are we getting gouged on this? Because when I tell you my cost, and that'll tell you I'm the most transparent pharmacist you'll ever see. When you come in the store, if you want to look at a price, I'll pull the bottle off the shelf and say, this is what we pay to get it in the store. And Eliquis right now, I think it's like $565 my cost. So it's extremely high. So you can imagine ordering 20 bottles of that a day. It makes it a grand time when that bill comes due. But so, you know, that's what we do. We look and we see what we can do to help with some of these. And there's a fight out there, y'all, that y'all probably know a lot of people in high places. I heard y'all had the governor here a few weeks ago, Nathan Deal. Talk to those people and tell them what you're hearing about the cost of drugs. And, you know, I'm not wanting to go to the White House to make me famous or anything like that. I'd much rather somebody else go. But there needs to be somebody that's working in the real world to tell these guys, this is what's happening. It's not what you're hearing from Pfizer. It's not what you're hearing from these guys over here that's making these billion-dollar profits off these drugs. It needs to come from where it's costing us. So if you know somebody and you want to get us in touch with somebody and have discussions about what we can do to bring that down, that would be great. I'm at the store, Strother will tell you this, I'm at the store every day. I take off on Saturdays. There are Saturdays that I work. So there's days that or weeks that I'm there 6 days a week. But if anything arises on those days, all you have to do is call. They got my cell phone, they'll call me, and we'll fix whatever needs to be fixing or make happen whatever needs to make happen. We are very good as far as, do a lot of y'all now, do y'all use Angelie? Yeah. Angelie is great. Me and her text a lot. So if I ever need her, all I gotta do is text her and she responds pretty quickly. But if you go to some other physician or whatever, we make calls to those. Father will tell you that. We'll call doctors, we'll hound them to death till we get your refill. We will. So that's what we want y'all to know, that y'all are truly a blessing to us. And we appreciate y'all being a part of the Riverside family. And Strother's got something he wants to say.
You talk about going to the White House. Why can't you get relief locally? I'm sure there's an association you belong to, and you would think that the local legislators listen, because they're having the same challenges that the rest of us are. Why can you not get any relief on the state level?
All right, so that's a very good question. State level. Anytime you have giants like CVS Caremark, CVS Aetna, Express Scripts, any of these big insurance companies, the way I can have any law, typically I've made connections throughout the state that, I can call up and say, this is what we need to shoot for. And we've had several laws that have been put into the state, but the way they get by that is they say we work at a federal level. So until we get up to the federal level, and I've said this because you're right, I'm part of, we have an association of pharmacists in the state. I'm a part of that. But we have a big advocate right now sitting there that's, I think he's over the Veterans Office, Doug Collins. He's on the cabinet of the president now. Doug was a huge supporter of independent pharmacists when he was in the state. He knows the struggles that we go through. He knows the practices of the PBMs. He knows what they're doing to try to pull that business away from us and get us gone. I don't know what's making this wheel turn so slow, but you've got to get it done on a federal level because these guys play games. When I went down, I knew how big they were because when I went down, Lee Hawkins called me one Sunday afternoon and said, can you be down here tomorrow? I said, absolutely. So went down, I testified before his health committee and told them what was going on. I had black and white paper showing them what I told y'all about Kelly's, co-pays, the whole 9 yards. I've got 3 guys sitting over here from CVS Caremark who's trying to dispute everything that I'm telling them and everything that I'm showing them. Our association, we had all this data that we had compiled from these independent pharmacies of what we were getting compared to what CVS was getting. So we gave them a black eye that day, but these guys are great because they're constantly down at the Capitol with this big money paying people to get their agenda pushed. I'm an independent guy. We have an association, but we'll never have the amount of money that they've got to accomplish their agenda. You got to think about it. If they're doing that just in this state alone, they're doing a much bigger level on the federal level or the federal side of it. Yes, sir.
Scotty, are you ready for a really tough question?
I'm ready.
Okay. How do you change from the big box store to your store?
You call me at the store, and we'll get some information, and we'll call whatever store you're using, and we'll take care of it. It's easy. It's very easy. Yes, sir.
I'm a little slow. For clarification, we use Riverside for our prescription drugs. Now, here's my question. We have an in-house service here. We found that I was mixing our drugs, okay? So we have someone come every 2 weeks and put them in the little boxes. Mm-hmm. It costs $45 every 2 weeks for her and $55 for me. Is that's something you can do at the store? Because that's we're getting all the pharmacy things from you.
It is. We can put it in these packs. You tell us, and this is how specific this gets. You tell us what time you're taking each medication,
Yeah.
and that's how we'll pack it. It'll come in this pack, and as Strother knows, it's labeled. There can be multiple prescriptions in one little pack for that time.
And the cost?
No cost. If you get the prescription.
Joy to the world.
Yeah, no cost. So, no cost. We can't stress that. No cost for us doing this. That's it. Big box. It's a big box. But yeah, so no cost. And I'm not trying to pull from what they're doing, because I think the nurses that do that here, they're great. They work well with us. They pick up prescriptions from us, or we'll deliver it up, and they come in and pick up from Annette. So they're great too. But yeah, we can package those for you.
I just want to make a comment about the equipment. My husband and I had gone to another pharmacy. Not that you were not carrying the product at the time, and ordered a lift chair. It's going to be in a week. Well, 3 weeks later, we had not got our chair. I would call that pharmacy, couldn't get them to return my call, couldn't get an answer out of them. So I go in and say, I want my money back. I found out y'all were carrying the chair. I had the chair in a week's time.
That's what we try to do. I stayed away from, because I've always been this way. If somebody else in town was providing a service, I try to stay away, not to get into any of that. But there was a need. People were having issues. The guy that used to own the store, I think probably where you went, was good friends of mine, and they were great, but they had sold the store to different people. I think things have changed a little bit on that level, so that's why we got into it. And that's us, the day that chair is delivered to the store, we're up here delivering it to you. And like I say, it's about a 4-day, because basically what they do is they'll take the order. If there's any kind of specialty that you want on it, massage, heat, anything that you want on that chair, they do. Then they'll ship it out to us. It comes by a big 18-wheeler. They pull up in front of the store, pull it off, and all we do is load it up and deliver. So, but anything like that. The only time that I've seen that we hadn't done anything on that level is if that product happens to be on the back order. That's happened some, but not a lot. And if that happens, all we do is we try to get you to go to another item, that is in stock, and get it to you fast that way too. So, but we try to take care of you, and we want to get you taken care of in a timely manner. 3 or 4 weeks of getting a chair, that shouldn't be the case. Not from what I've seen. I've been dealing with them now for over a year, and I don't think I've ever had a chair that took me more than 4 to 5 days to get.
Anyone else?
Matt, you want to say anything?
I guess the only thing, I know my store's not that big, so if there's anything, if you come in and look and you see something and you're like, oh, well, she don't have this, don't just leave. You can come to me. I'll holler at them. I can't carry everything, but I can holler at them and have it sent over. And like if it's the morning, I possibly could have it that afternoon or maybe the next morning at the latest. So anything I don't have, I can get. And we can special order some things that they might not have in the store. We can order it and get it to you. And if you're gonna do that, Ralph, make sure, just let them know that what you decide to do, because we're good doing that, but make sure you go through them so there's no confrontation or anything, because it's two different systems going.
Yeah, I'll come in and talk to you.
Okay, that'll be good.
She will call you if you're using their service here, and it comes in, she'll call you. And she'll say, Strawley, your meds are in, so you don't have to remember to follow up. Once you call Riverside, or the doctor does, it's gonna show up and you're gonna be notified.
Anybody got
Anyone
any
else?
questions?
Thank you so much. I learn something every time you come. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank y'all.
And I told Scotty that I heard several rumors from residents that we might lose the gift nook here. And so there really was a motive behind this, that no, we don't want to lose the gift nook. But Scotty assured me they really were just rumors. So please keep on using our wonderful services here. Thank you. Have a good summer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank
that
you.
was delightful. I probably need to change my prescriptions, just from the principle of I hate those big pharmacy stores. Is that a good?
I do too.
I don't even have copays on most things.
Yeah.
I just